Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. I'd like to share a narration from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, peace and blessings be upon him, about a very important practice that we should have in our lives. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم جددوا إيمانكم أكثروا من قول لا إله إلا الله. He said to his companions, peace and blessings be upon him, renew your faith. Renew your faith. جددوا إيمانكم. And they said, O Messenger of God, how do we renew our faith? It was an interesting command that had come from him. They said, O Messenger of God, how do we renew our faith? How do we do that? And he said, peace and blessings be upon him, abundantly say, La ilaha illallah. Abundantly say, there is no God but Allah, which is a form of dhikr, an invocation. And this is one of the ways that a believer strengthens their faith and strengthens their faith to a point that it reaches yaqeen, which is certainty. And we're taught by Allah in the Quran, Jalla fi'ula, قَالَ أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. God tells us in the Quran that indeed in the remembrance of God do hearts find peace. And this is one of the most important acts that we need in today's world. There's a lot of people who complain of issues of anxiety. They feel internally in their hearts that they do not have a sense of serenity, a sense of tranquility, that they do not feel connected to God and His Messenger, that they don't taste the sweetness of faith. And when you ask them, are you abundantly making dhikr? Are you invoking and remembering God abundantly? The answer is most often no. So the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he teaches us that at those moments that a person feels a weakness in their faith, or they feel an emptiness in their heart, that one of the ways that they reignite and replenish their hearts and their spiritual energy is by saying La ilaha illallah. Abundantly saying La ilaha illallah. There is no God but God. There is no God but Allah. And this is called a form of dhikr, of remembrance of God. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, also taught us that the best form of remembrance, the best way to remember God is to say La ilaha illallah. And that the best invocation that he came with, and all the previous prophets, Prophet Ibrahim, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Noah, he said the best thing that I came with, and all the prophets before me, may God's peace be upon them all, is La ilaha illallah, is that there is no God except Allah. And that a person who does so begins to give energy to their spiritual state, to their heart. They feel a sense of connection with the divine. They see the realities, they see the entire world through the lens of connection to the Creator. Glorious and exalted is He. Whenever they're faced with any aspect of life, whether it's a challenge or whether it's even experiencing beauty, seeing a sunrise or seeing a beautiful mountain or seeing a rainbow, they say La ilaha illallah. There is no God except God, the Creator of all beauty, the one who gave us life, the one who gave us strength, the one who gave us the ability to do all of the things that we do in our lives, the one who bestowed every blessing that we have upon us. So it's natural as human beings, and people's hearts are tired and are worn out to feel sometimes disconnected or to feel far away from God. And the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he said, renew your faith. When you feel that emptiness, when you feel that distance, when you feel like you're reaching out and you need to reconnect to God, say La ilaha illallah. Abundantly. Repeat it. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. And that a believer, when doing so, should be mindful of the words. Not to just say it like a parrot, but to say it reflecting upon its meanings. That there is no God, that there is nothing, no creator except the one true God, except the Creator of the heavens and the earth, except the Lord of glory and majesty, subhanahu wa ta'ala. La ilaha illallah. That there is nothing worthy of worship except God. That there is nothing that remains other than God in reality, eternally. So to strengthen one's heart and one's faith with the remembrance of God. And it's very easy. If you're commuting to work one day and you're just in the car, rather than hearing some news that might cause you sadness on the radio, because there's a lot of news that is very saddening today, make remembrance of Allah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, as you're commuting to work. And a person who does that will feel better by the time they get there. They've started off their day remembering God. They've started off their day on the right foot. Or if you're commuting to class, if you're going to class in the morning, or you're walking between classes, or you have a break, as you're walking from one class to the next, you can remember Allah. Make dhikr, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. And if a person does that, they'll find easily in their day that they've said it 100, 200, 300 times, easily. And when they do that, they will feel more connected. They will feel more at peace with the ultimate reality of existence. They will feel connected to the divine. And Allah Ta'ala, God the Exalted, will assist that person and bless that person and help that person in their day-to-day life. So we need to revive within ourselves and within our families and our communities the remembrance of Allah. Dhikrullah. The Prophet ﷺ, he also said, غَنِيمَةْ مَجَالِسُ الذِّكْرِ الْجَنَّةِ. That the reward that God gives for gatherings where He is remembered is paradise. So it is one of the most beneficial acts of worship that we can implement in our day-to-day lives. And it is something that gives us peace of heart and mind. And it's something that gives us the proper perspective when we go out into the world and we face the various things that we see in our day-to-day lives. We have that connection. Our rope is tied to the divine. Our lens is looking at things, seeing the Creator behind the creation, seeing the ultimate meaning behind the forms that we experience in our day-to-day lives. And that creates a higher level of iman. That creates an increased level of belief and yaqeen and firm certitude. And that allows us to be people of positivity, of optimism, of goodness, and of connection to the divine. We ask Allah that He make us people who remember Him abundantly, and that He beautify our hearts with His remembrance, and our families and our homes, and that He illuminate, He gives us nur in our hearts and on our tongues as we remember Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that He makes us people who follow the beautiful example of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in all that we do, thereby making our lives sources of goodness for ourselves and all those around us. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.